CBS News senior security contributor Michael Morell is a former CI deputy director. He joins us from Washington. Good morning, Mike. So,
good morning, Charlie.
Following what Clarissa said, what do you make of this incident?
So, Charlie, we don't know with certainty what is motivating this person, but it does appear that he is in some way motivated by ISIS. If that's the case, this is not surprising to me. ISIS has had a focus on Australia for some time. Some 300 Australians have gone to the Middle East to fight in that war. 70 or so are fighting for ISIS. Just a couple of months ago, the Australians did a countrywide raid, arresting a number of people after a senior ISIS leader called for individuals in Australia to behead Australians in public for ISIS. So there is this focus on Australia.
But it also is an example of the long reach or the long tentacles of ISIS, is it not, which gets more publicity for them around the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Charlie.
Yep. Australia recently raised their terror threat to high, Mike, and you just mentioned about the connection to Australia. Can you be specific about why Australia would be a target?
So Australia is seen by groups like ISIS as a partner of the West, which it certainly is. Australia was a coalition partner in the war in Iraq, a coalition partner in the war in Afghanistan, and is now a coalition partner in the fight against ISIS. So ISIS sees them as an enemy.
Michael, when other countries will look at this incident, perhaps, as ISIS succeeding in some ways in encouraging lone wolves to carry out these types of attacks, what concerns you the most?
What concerns me the most is that we're going to see this kind of terrorism around the world, and we are going to see it here, Nora. We are going to see this kind of attack here, and we need to be prepared for that. You know, it shouldn't surprise people when this happens here sometime over the next year or so, guaranteed.
How do we prepare for it?
Yes.
It's very difficult to stop something like this. You know, one way this happens is if ISIS leadership directs it, and intelligence agencies can often see that and prevent it. If people are vocal about what they're going to do on social media, you can often prevent it. But if they're quiet about it, it's very easy to carry out something like this. Very difficult to prevent it.
Mm-hmm. Are you convinced, Michael, that this is a lone wolf incident?
So we don't know, right? I mean, there's really a couple possibilities here. One is that this person has been directed by ISIS to do this. That would be kind of the worst case. The second is that this person went to fight in Syria and has now come back. The third possibility is that this person has just been self-radicalized by the ISIS message. And I guess the fourth possibility is that he's mentally ill, right? Mm-hmm. So it's one of those four, and it goes from worst case to kind of less worst case.
Yes, all the scenarios, very chilling. Thank you, Michael Morell, joining us this morning.
You're welcome.